Welcome, my fellow darkness enthusiasts, to a world shrouded in chilling mist and echoing with the whispers of the unseen. Tonight, we delve into the murky depths of folklore, where the currents carry not just water, but the chilling tales of souls lost and spirits restless. Picture this. The sun has dipped below the horizon, casting long, skeletal shadows across the rippling surface of the river, painting a scene both beautiful and eerie. A thick fog rolls in, clinging to the water like a shroud, obscuring the opposite bank in an ethereal mist, making the world feel smaller and more mysterious. It's the kind of night that sends shivers down your spine. A night where the air feels heavy with unseen eyes, watching from the shadows. The river, you see, has a secret, one that has been whispered about for generations. It's the story of a fisherman, a man who knew the river's depths like the back of his hand, every current and eddy familiar to him. They say he could lure the largest fish from their hiding places, his line always finding its mark with an almost supernatural precision. But the river, as we know, is a fickle mistress, capable of both giving and taking away, her moods as changeable as the weather. One fateful night, a storm rolled in, unleashing its fury upon the land, the wind howling like a banshee. The fisherman, despite the howling wind and torrential rain, ventured out onto the water, unable to resist the siren song of the river. He never returned, his fate sealed by the storm. Some say he was swept away by a rogue wave, his body lost to the depths, never to be seen again. Others whisper that the river, jealous of his intimate knowledge, claimed him for her own, pulling him into her depths. Now, years later, the fisherman's spirit is said to haunt the riverbank, forever searching for the catch that eluded him in life, his soul restless. Witnesses tell of seeing a lone figure shrouded in mist, his form barely discernible through the dense fog, a ghostly presence. He stands at the water's edge, his weathered hands gripping a fishing rod, casting his line into the murky depths, as if still hoping for that elusive catch. But it's his eyes that truly chill the soul, eyes that seem to pierce through the veil of the living. They say his eyes, once filled with the joy of a man at one with nature, now burn with an eerie, otherworldly light, a haunting glow. They are the eyes of someone trapped between worlds, forever tethered to the place where they met their demise, unable to move on. Some dismiss the sightings as mere tricks of the light, the fog playing tricks on the mind, creating illusions. But others, those who have felt the icy grip of fear on the banks of that haunted river, know the truth, a truth that chills them to the bone. They know that some souls, unable to find peace, are destined to walk the earth, forever bound to the places that claimed them, their stories echoing through time. The river, for all its beauty, can be a cruel and unforgiving force, a force that holds secrets and sorrows within its depths. Its currents, while seemingly gentle, can sweep away even the strongest swimmers, leaving behind only whispers of tragedy and the echoing cries of loved ones left behind, forever haunted by the river's merciless grip. This next tale speaks of such a tragedy, a heart-wrenching story that has been passed down through generations, each retelling adding another layer of sorrow to its already melancholic melody, a story that lingers in the hearts of those who hear it. It's the story of a mother's love, a love that transcends even the boundaries of life and death, a love that manifests in the chilling wails that echo along the riverbank, a love that refuses to be silenced. They call her the weeping woman of the river, her sorrowful cries a haunting reminder of the child she lost to the river's depths, a loss that has left an indelible mark on her spirit. The story goes that she was once a woman of joy, her laughter as bright and sparkling as the river itself, a woman whose happiness was as boundless as the flowing water. But fate, as it so often does, had other plans that would shatter her world and change her forever. One sunny afternoon, she brought her young child to the riverbank, eager to share the beauty of nature with her beloved offspring, unaware of the tragedy that awaited them. They played along the water's edge, the child's laughter mingling with the gentle murmur of the current, a perfect moment that would soon turn into a nightmare. But in a moment of distraction, a moment that would forever haunt the mother's dreams, the child slipped, tumbling into the unforgiving embrace of the river, a moment that would change everything. The mother, her heart shattering into a million pieces, dove in after her child, her desperate cries for help swallowed by the rushing water, her hope sinking with each passing second. But it was too late. The river had already claimed its innocent victim. The river had claimed another victim, its cold, uncaring depths swallowing both the child and the mother's hope, leaving behind only sorrow and despair. Now, they say, the mother's spirit wanders the riverbank, her heart forever broken, her cries a chilling testament to the depth of her loss, a loss that time cannot heal. Those who live near the river say that on quiet nights, when the moon hangs low in the sky and the wind whispers through the trees, you can hear her wails, a sound that pierces the silence. It's a mournful sound, a sound that chills you to the bone and makes your hair stand on end, a sound that speaks of endless grief and longing. It's the sound of pure, unadulterated grief, the sound of a mother's love echoing through the ages, searching for a lost soul that can never be reclaimed, a love that refuses to fade. Some say that the weeping woman is not malevolent, merely a grieving mother searching for her lost child, a spirit trapped in an endless cycle of sorrow. They say she means no harm, that her cries are simply a release of her eternal sorrow, a sorrow that cannot be contained. Others, however, whisper of a different kind of story, a story that speaks of vengeance and anger. They say that the weeping woman, driven mad by her grief, now seeks to drag others into her watery grave, to share in her eternal sorrow, a sorrow that has turned to rage. They say that her cries are not those of a grieving mother, but the siren song of a vengeful spirit, luring unsuspecting victims to their doom, a spirit that seeks to make others feel her pain. Imagine walking along that same riverbank, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and the promise of rain, a sense of foreboding hanging in the air. The sun is set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, but a sense of unease settles upon you, a feeling that you are not alone, that something is watching. As you continue your walk, you hear a faint sound carried on the wind, a sound that sends a shiver down your spine. It's a low, mournful wail, like the cry of a wounded animal, a sound that tugs at your heart. You stop, listening intently, your heart pounding in your chest, your breath catching in your throat. The sound grows louder, closer, until it's unmistakable. The weeping woman, her cries filling the night air. The river, under the cloak of darkness, transforms into a gateway to the unknown. Shadows stretch and twist, taking on monstrous forms that dance at the edge of your vision. And sometimes, if the whispers are to be believed, it's not just shadows that emerge from the darkness, but something far more sinister. This final tale speaks of a spectral vessel, a phantom canoe that glides silently across the water, its appearance heralding unease and leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and eerie mysteries. It's a story whispered in hushed tones by the fireside, a tale that sends shivers down the spines of even the most hardened skeptics, making them question the reality they know. The phantom canoe, they say, appears only on the darkest of nights when the moon is hidden behind a veil of clouds and the river reflects nothing but the abyss above, creating an atmosphere of pure dread. It emerges from the shadows, a sleek black canoe seemingly hewn from the darkness itself, gliding effortlessly across the water as if propelled by an unseen hand, defying the natural order. Those who claim to have witnessed the phantom canoe speak of an unsettling silence that surrounds it, a silence so profound it seems to swallow all other sounds. There's no sound of paddles dipping into the water, no creak of wood against wood, only the eerie silence of a vessel that seems to defy the laws of nature, moving as if by some ghostly force. Even more unsettling are the figures said to man the canoe, shadowy and indistinct. Witnesses describe them as shadowy forms, their features obscured by the darkness, their eyes glowing with an eerie, otherworldly light that pierces the night. They sit motionless in the canoe, their gaze is fixed on some unknown point in the distance, as if driven by a purpose beyond the comprehension of the living, a purpose shrouded in mystery. The phantom canoe appears without warning, glides silently along the river for a time, and then vanishes as quickly as it arrived, melting back into the shadows from whence it came, leaving no trace. Its purpose, its origin, and the identity of its ghostly passengers remain a mystery, a chilling enigma whispered along the riverbanks, a story that refuses to fade. Some believe the canoe to be a harbinger of death, its appearance signaling an impending tragedy, a dark omen that cannot be ignored. Others speculate that it carries the souls of those lost to the river, ferrying them to their final resting place, a spectral ferryman on an eternal journey. Whatever the truth may be, the phantom canoe remains a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unexplored, a haunting presence on the river. Imagine yourself standing on the riverbank, the air heavy with humidity, the silence broken only by the chirping of crickets and the distant croaking of frogs, the night alive with unseen presences. The moon is a sliver in the sky, its light swallowed by the thick canopy of trees that line the riverbank, casting long, eerie shadows. You feel a chill run down your spine, a primal instinct warning you of unseen eyes, a sense of being watched by something not of this world. You turn towards the river, your heart pounding in your chest, and there it is, the phantom canoe emerging silently from the shadows, gliding effortlessly across the still water, a vision of pure dread. The canoe is sleek and black, as if carved from a single piece of obsidian, a dark vessel on a darker river. The river, as we've explored tonight, holds more than just water. It cradles secrets, whispers forgotten stories, and reflects the darkness that dwells not just in its depths, but within the human heart. Thank you for braving the darkness with us tonight, for peering into the abyss and facing the chilling unknown. Until next time, keep your lights on, and remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we create ourselves. Sleep tight, if you dare.